Hi folks, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. This is crazy. I'm looking at my phone and I'm going across to the shares and Tesla's just jumped $138 now, this morning. That's crazy. Those of you who have several hundred shares that you bought very cheap many years ago, you're probably walking around with a permanent grin on your face. Those of you who bought them and then when they got it to 500 or 600 thought that that was the end of the ride, me, and then sold, are kicking themselves. Anyway, second guessing never helped anyone. Today is the day Today is the day that I'm going off down to the Tesla service department in a few minutes. They called the car in to check that the high tension lead on the high voltage battery was secure. It had reports that some of them were not well connected. Secondly, as you know, the glove box just began flopping open all the time as I drove. So they're going to look at that and probably put some stronger springs to hold the latch closed. But thirdly, as you all know, I sprung for full self-driving, which obviously was a bit of a puzzle to many of you who thought that Model 3 Man is against full self-driving. As you recall, we had several episodes where you all entered the debate. Of course, I was never against full self-driving. If Elon gets 99% of full self-driving, treat it as complete. It's absolutely going to revolutionize transportation, and I'm, for one, thrilled to be a part of it. I'm still going to be getting full self-driving. I hope you didn't understand my rant to mean that I didn't consider it a worthy product. I can't wait to buy it. I know that it's going up in July the 1st. I'm hoping that the price will drop. So I sprung $4,000. Some of you wondered why it was so cheap. Well, I was one of the few people that were back at the enhanced autopilot, a non-existent level today. We're in because of the legacy purchase we made a few years back. So we've simply graduated from enhanced autopilot, hoping Elon would give us full self-driving free. Well, he never did. So I paid the $4,000. And listen, some of you guys kindly donated to defray that horrible expense. But I'm not going to use it for that. I'm using it, as I said before, for equipment on this channel, to make my uploads better, to make the videos more professional, to get me equipment like gimbals and extra batteries and things that I actually need for the channel. So thanks for all those donations. So 5 minutes and I'm leaving, heading downtown. And then, of course, I'll need to recalibrate because with a new computer, calibration has to be done all over again before the car will allow itself to go into autopilot and before we can do all the fun things I cannot wait to try out. So we're on our way. It's, as you would expect, raining in North Vancouver. We're going from North Vancouver downtown, crossing the Lionsgate Bridge and heading into the service department, Tesla West 4th. It's been pretty cool to be able to schedule my service through the Tesla app. Not only can you schedule it, but you can also amend it, you could add things to it, and so at the moment mine has a total of 3 items. The original reason that I was called in for, to check the connection on the high tension lead. Then my glove box began messing around, and then I went and purchased, as you know, full self-drive, and of course I asked if they could put the computer in at the same time, and they said that maybe not, and then they texted me to say that appears to be possible. Looks like we can do it, so they've added that to the service schedule. Then I had to approve the princely sum of $0.0. This absolutely is a grey day in Vancouver. I think Christopher Cross wrote a song about rainy day in Vancouver, and this is really it. Getting closer to the service center right now. 1 block more, and then we take the back route, get into the bottom, and check in. So this is the rental that they've left me with. It's got the word Ford on it. I believe that the increase in daily valuation recently of Tesla has equaled the full valuation of Ford. Anyway, I got the privilege, dubious privilege, of driving some little Ford. I have no idea what it actually is, and I'm really concerned that I even remember how to drive a gasoline car, which sounds stupid, but for 6 or 7 years I've had the Nissan Leaf, and then I've had the Model 3. Anyway, we'll make do. In the meantime, they've told me it'll take about 5 hours. They've confirmed that the hardware version 3 motherboard is there, is ready to put in. So I'm really excited about that. And later in the afternoon, I'll be getting a call from them to come in and collect Red Dragon. Well, I'm back, and I got a lot to tell you. I want to just mention how extremely efficient it is working in the Tesla app, especially in the service tab, where I can approve the quotation before it gets done. I can approve the invoice at the end, so when I go to pick it up, that's already done, it's out the way. Let me mention that when I picked up the car, he told me that it would take about 100 kilometers to recalibrate. Well, that sounded excessive, but, you know, I wanted it to do it properly. So I began driving, and of course, every time I double tapped the stalk to get into autopilot, it said, "Cameras are calibrating. Please wait until calibration is finished." And there was this nice little circular clock-like face with a bit of a blue mark slowly beginning to advance. You can see it here. And that gave me some indication of how patient I needed to be as the calibration completed. When I got to the end of the calibration, I discovered that there were certain things I still could not do. Some of them were because other cameras needed to finish calibrating. So I jumped in behind the wheel, drove out on the freeway, and just kept going until I saw that those camera calibrations had also been completed. Then I got back to a parking lot where Janine works, and I stopped and I thought, why am I not able to activate traffic light detection, stop sign detection, and all the other really fun things that make full self-driving so exciting? And there was a tiny little message, you can see it here, and it said, additional maps and navigation maps and data has to be downloaded first. So I headed home and I performed all of the updates. There were 2 updates, might have even been 3, that updated the games. And then finally, updating new navigation maps and navigation data. But I'm excited to see how well it recognizes traffic lights, pedestrian crossings, stop signs, 4-way intersections. No more talking, let's get out there and do it. Folks, we're taking the car out for the very first time with all the cameras calibrated and with full self-driving now installed and our brand new hardware 3.0 motherboard sitting behind the glove box. We're going to go through a few lights, 4-way intersection. We're going to come to some stop signs. We'll have a look at what it does with pedestrian crossings, and all of this just in our local area. We'll have one camera pointing at the screen over here, and the other camera will be Janine filming the lights ahead, and we can see how it goes. So let's get going. All right, so now let's get into autopilot. There we are. Auto speed restricted to 50, which is fine. We don't want to go any more. Okay, is it going to see these lights? Oh, yeah, but I can see them flashing on there. It didn't actually stop, did it? Let's get going and see if that was an aberration or exactly what we need to expect. Of course, it's detecting traffic cones, as it normally does. So we're into autopilot again. That's auto steer and traffic aware cruise control. And hopefully light detection, stop sign detection. We're coming up to an intersection. This is a pedestrian crossing, but the lights are not on, so slowing through traffic control, it says. Well, it's not bad. Here we are now. Coming up to a set of, oops. You hear that? Stopping for traffic control in 25 meters. I'm seeing a red line across, which is the front. And keep it in auto steer, of course. So I'm going to tap the accelerator because it needs a prompt. So we're looking ahead. There's a stop sign ahead, but it's flashing green. It says stopping for this control in 50 meters, but I'm going to tap the accelerator. How this works in this software update is that you have to actually indicate that you want it to go through. See, it's detected that it's green. I tap down on the gear stalk and it goes through. Now, of course, it's going to stop because there are cars ahead, which is obviously what we want. Stopping for traffic control in 75 meters. So it's detected the lights. I can kind of see them over there, and there's a red line showing where we would actually come to a stop if we were the only car. Hopefully on the way back we can do something where I am the only car approaching a light and it'll have to stop on its own. So it still says it's going to stop in 50 meters. I rather hope not. So I'm tapping the accelerator and that gives it the go-ahead to simply go through a green light. But you can see the green lights over there. Very nice. Okay, we're coming up to yet another set of traffic lights a little way ahead. Now I can see the lights and so can the car. So there it is, stopping for control in 100 meters. I'm going to have to press the stalk to give it permission to go through. But you can see the lights are blinking there just like they were in the actual traffic lights. Has it seen the red line? Yes, it has. There's a red line across, and behind my maximum speed you can just see the indication of 2 traffic lights. That's pretty good. Once the traffic gets going, I will tap the stalk or touch the accelerator. Either will do the same. There, touch the accelerator. You can see that the lights are green. There's another set ahead, and yeah, it says stopping for traffic control. But it is orange, amber, red. What I noticed is that it changed here where the traffic lights changed. It was virtually instantaneous. That was very fast. As they changed, the color changed. It's showing 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of traffic lights, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty impressive. It's showing the traffic cones on the left. It's showing the red line, which is the actual intersection barrier. What we need to do now is go back and take some back routes through stop signs. I'd like to actually be the only car at the traffic light, so we're going to run this one again here. Get into autopilot. Of course, we've got a pedestrian crossing ahead, and I'm not sure if the lights are not flashing, whether it'll stop. I want to see even if it's aware of it. So it says slowing through traffic control. So it was more a case of slowing after the traffic control, but it did it, and it knew that there was a pedestrian crossing. Now we have a pedestrian crossing ahead with orange lights blinking. So what is it going to do there? It says stopping for traffic control. But I'm going to put my foot in the accelerator to allow it to go through. And going to indicate to the right now. It's just so hard to trust it. So it's detecting all of the lights. You can see it over there. We're stopped just behind the line. That's good. And unfortunately, I can't drop it back into autopilot until I see the auto steer symbol appear. We'll go right through. There's 2 more lights, and we can turn right, and we'll come back along a back route. Let's see when this changes. So I'm looking up at the top there. I'm looking at the real lights. Does it even see a green arrow? Not really. It sees the orange, yeah. Now, that was when it changed. So let's go through the intersection and get ourselves back into autopilot. So we're coming up to an intersection that has green flashing lights. I don't want it to stop, so I'm going to press down on the stalk to allow it to continue. Another one ahead that is solid lights. It's going to stop unless this time I'll push the accelerator to let it continue. Still wants my hand on the wheel, of course. Now we have a red light, stopping for traffic control. Tends to stop with a lot of ferocity. But, no, that's not bad. Nope. Human would have done a smoother job, but that's not bad. Now, it's seeing all of the red light signs, and once again we can try and see how quickly the screen changes to the color of the actual lights. Now, and there we go, through the intersection. We're going to do a left turn the other road. Yep. Coming up to that blinking green light. We'll duck out of auto steer. A little dead end here, is it, Janine? And it goes through, okay. Bless you. It's still moving, I see, so that's good for us. I'll take a back route back. Oh, it even noticed the stop sign. I'm not in autopilot, but it definitely was aware of it. And we're basically in the Lynn Valley Rec Center. So I can get out here, I think. Yep. Another stop sign ahead, and it has spotted it. That's very good. I think all of this obviously comes from the navigation data, the database that I downloaded last night. So ultimately, it was a lot of fun. It was exciting for me. Well, it was a new purchase. There had to be some value in spending the $4,000. But it was exciting to see it in a state that was so much more advanced than when I just had the hardware 2.5, where it did basically autopilot on the freeways, and it didn't do anything as far as stop lights and stop signs were concerned. I can see the potential. I'm excited to watch it grow. And yesterday, Elon said that he thinks he'll get to level 5 autonomy by the end of this year. That's 2020. Well, we all know Elon time sometimes takes a little bit longer. But if he's thinking of level 5 already by the end of this year, and even if that slips into halfway through 2021, that is astounding. I cannot wait to experience that. And my channel, Model 3 Man channel, will be following that journey, and I'll be reporting back and uploading videos. You'll share in it with me as we watch it grow. And that'll help you to determine, in fact, whether you see any value. Because it's not just what it can do, it's what it brings to us, the drivers, the people who are in control of the car. That's the journey I'm on right now, and I am excited. So thank you again for watching. Thanks for your generous donations through PayPal. Thank you for using my referral code when you could have used anybody else's. I appreciate that so much. And in the meantime, please keep safe. Until next time, look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching this episode. Cheers for now.